Hello there, and welcome back to the Else Time Film Podcast, where we talk film, TV, and games, and all that jazz like tomorrow. My name is Tom, and as always, I am joined by my co-host John.
Hey!
This is definitely not the second time we've recorded this.
Of course not.
Definitely.
Because something just happened. But anyway,
yes. Happy Valentine's Day!
Woo!
Woo! What a time to be alive. I had to say that because go on.
You know what's coming out on Valentine's Day?
Snyder Cut trailer.
Very yes.
Excited. Well, this episode is coming out. Obviously, we're recording this the day before, but this episode is actually coming out on Valentine's Day. So you know, I just had to say Happy Valentine's Day, John, to address the sexual tension between us. You know, that was. I'm very proud of that joke.
Yeah, okay. So it's been a quick week.
It has been a good week, hasn't it? Got quite a bit of news to talk about. And this week, as said last week, we are starting our Zack Snyder Extravaganza with 2004's Dawn of the Dead. We're going to talk about that for our main segment. As always, we've got WandaVision episode 6. Got a whole load of news. Got a bit of casting news in there for you, John. I know you love that. Casting news.
But this has been great casting news this week.
Oh yes, some stuff that I'm very excited about. So if you are, if you want to skip to anything, you can do that. And shall we get into it?
Yes, let's get into the weekly news.
Let's go into the unknown. Frozen 2.
I sound like Jeremy Irons from the DCU going, Mr. Wayne.
I think I love him as Alfred. I just do. I think he's amazing. But we can actually talk about that in our second piece of news. But our first piece of news, we got a trailer for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This is a Super Bowl trailer, it seems very popular. It got I think 125 million views, which is more than any trailer for Black Widow, which is quite funny, considering Black Widow is like the actual film and this is a TV show. What do you think of the trailer?
It looks interesting. I mean, like, we get to see Bucky and I forgot his name. It's Captain America now, but it was Falcon.
Falcon, Sam Wilson.
Right, that I forgot. Yeah, it looks. As I said, it looks interesting. There's like a lot of stuff like Chemo. Zelo. Is that his name? Is that his name?
Zemo.
Right. So Zemo, he's in it, and he's got like that original kind of character, like from the comics.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people have said, and I think this is quite cool. I think I heard somewhere on Twitter that he's wearing this mask because like he wants to like taunt the Avengers like after Thanos, which is why it's purple and it's kind of got like the kind of like lines on it similar to Thanos' chin. So he's got a Thanos' chin mask.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I think that's just speculation. But
yeah, I don't think it's that.
No,
I think it's just from the
I
comics.
think that would be fairly interesting, though.
Yeah, that would be interesting. What do you think of the trailer?
Right. Okay. I think like it's worth first of all saying that like the first trailer made me really excited. I thought it had some like really really cool shots and the action looked good and it was bringing the emphasis and everything. And this one. It was fine, but I have to say I'm less excited now because it felt like
it was like a bit. I can tell it's going to be a bit generic.
It does look like that kind. It looks very similar to Winter Soldier and Civil War, and I think both of those films are quite good. But I think the formula,
it could be like one of those
tired out, and at the same time, I'd like some of the stuff like the staring contest at the end of the trailer. I thought that was dreadful. Like, at the end of the first trailer, they had a little bit of banter, and I didn't like it. And now they're doing more. I'm just like, I don't want to sit through a whole show. Like, we've spoken in WandaVision how we hate some of the jokes that they make in, like, the regular world, but... I'm not a fan at all of
they're not,
what they look
like. They may be running out of jokes now.
Definitely. Like,
yeah.
Well, it seems like, Falcon and Winter Soldier have interacted a few times, and every time they do, in Civil War especially, they have a couple of little, like, talks. But I think they said, like, they spoke like once in Infinity War and Endgame, so like we barely really know anything like about their dynamic or like,
about like the character development between them.
Yeah, so we know they hate each other, but other than that, so I am on one hand I am interested to see how that's going to go, but on the other hand I'm a bit like, and we it doesn't look like it's going to be like funny, more just like the kind of thing that I roll my eyes at. Yeah. Cool. But hey, we got better things to talk about. Our second piece of news, we got a whole load of Snyder Cut goodness.
Oh week. My!
We got clips and images galore. So by
the way, there'll be a third one today.
Yes, there is. Yes. So as the time of
at 5:14.
Yes. So as we are recording this, it's important to know we haven't seen the final teaser for the trailer, and we haven't seen the trailer, which will be coming out on Valentine's Day. But we'll talk about it next week.
You could put some images, like, just there.
Yes, I plan to put one image of Black Suit Superman. You know the one. You know the image.
Of course I know the one. The one that shoots its lasers down.
The sexiest image ever. We don't know. Okay, so we'll start. We've got quite a few to get through. We'll start from the beginning of the week. So the beginning of the week, they released a HD clip of Superman arriving and meeting Alfred. Did you see this clip?
Oh, yeah, of course, man.
I think, obviously we saw this clip last year, and I am still astounded by it. Yeah, so they released a low-res image, but this time, or low-res clip, but this time it's a HD clip. And also, speaking of HD, you can now watch the podcast as of last week in HD, so select those settings and click 180p.
All thanks to us, because we are...
Well, all thanks to the update I got on my computer last week. But yeah, so it showed Superman coming to meet Alfred, and I love it so much. Like the black suit,
like the sound when Superman arrives.
Yeah, you get like that lovely bang, and then it's really weird, but I love the sound of his boots hitting the floor. There's like a little doo-doo, and it's like it's very nice. Like
the boots on the floor.
The boots on the floor. It's like ASMR for me. I love it.
I can't hear that.
We're not all deaf, John. I really like the black suit. And something I found out this week is that what they did when they made the suit for Justice League is they gave it an underlay, a reflective paneling. So because Zack Snyder always wanted the black suit, so that actually helped him make the black suit look so good in post, which I think is absolutely wonderful. But yeah, I think it looks great, and it's great to hear the Man of Steel theme play again. Yeah,
I mean, everything that I like comparison. I saw a comparison of Justice League and then Justice League, and then BBS, and the comparison between them. Batman is just clueless, absolutely clueless. He's going. I have a sword.
Yeah, no, it's horrible, and some of the stuff in that film, but what can you do?
Worst thing is that IMDb says that this film is directed by Zack Snyder.
Yeah, I know. Just even all this time after, they haven't changed it, which is really upsetting. And the film itself, if anyone ever watches Justice League, I don't know why you would, but if anyone ever did, it will still say directed by Zack Snyder.
I watched it was so satisfying. Last night, I was watching all the people that saying there's just the Snyder Cut doesn't exist.
It does feel satisfying that we're getting this.
They were saying, it's impossible to have the Snyder Cut be released. It doesn't exist. Because Zack Snyder directed this. Everyone knows that BBS sucked, and it's just so satisfying to see those. Just there was one girl who in a podcast she was like, the Snyder Cut exists, but I like the Superman in this Justice League.
No way. No way, that's ridiculous. That's when he's
he said those exact words.
When he's hope is like a river, it winds, oh god, that film is
it's not the right comic depiction of Justice League. It's a complete disaster written by a drunken guy, but then here you have a masterpiece of a work, the Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Well, we can only hope. I mean, as you can probably tell, we're very excited. And I have big hopes.
I can tell Zack Snyder's going to do super well.
Oh, I have. Did you watch the video I sent you?
I started watching it, but I was just a bit busy.
Yeah, that's fine. But like that video had some really nice like wipe transitions. Like it showed like original footage, and then they wiped it with Zack Snyder's footage. And it looked absolutely wonderful. But yeah, so our second.
And then we saw some. Sorry, we saw some images of Darkseid and Granny Goodness.
Right. Well, we'll talk about. We'll go like chronologically throughout the week. So our second was actually a little clip of Victor Stone playing football. Do you remember that one?
Yes. Victor Stone. That was for the NFL, I believe. Yeah.
Just before the Super Bowl started, I think. And I just want to say. It was only like short, but like first of all, it shot absolutely wonderfully. It was him doing a touchdown, and the music, Junkie XL, like already sounds insane. I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be sounding like such a different feeling, like.
Well, yeah, he said like in an interview. Obviously, we've heard some clips of it, but he did say that he wants to build off like some of the stuff that he started to do in Batman v Superman, which is really cool because like with the theatrical Justice League, Danny Elfman just ditched all that and went back to like the classic Batman theme and stuff, which is fine, but it's not like that's not what this Batman's about,
Yeah, and I believe that there's a cool detail that Zack Snyder wanted to like make Cyborg the heart of the movie.
Yeah,
and that he started off with that. So
yeah, I'm excited to hear what Cyborg's kind of theme is. But yeah, so our next thing of the week, we got a clip of Steppenwolf fighting the Amazons.
And Jesus,
it looks absolutely awesome.
Okay, so ladies and gents, if you see the one in Justice League. He is just jumping around, getting the mother box.
The one in Justice
League. What
you
see right here in this clip is just brutal. Like
so if you've seen back with the first trailer, Zack Snyder did an official breakdown of the first trailer. It's on Vero's YouTube account. So if you haven't watched it, I rewatched it recently, and one of the things he says is how Steppenwolf armor is a living kind of organism. One of the things it does is it catches like arrows with the Amazons, and you can see in this clip Steppenwolf's armor is catching all the arrows, which I think is really cool.
That's a really cool detail right there.
He's he's like summoning lightning or something. It's very cool. It's not in color, but
he slashes he gets one of the Amazons in half or slashes in half and.
Yeah, I'm extremely excited to see more Steppenwolf and to see like the original Steppenwolf. But speaking of villains, we got our first proper look at Joker as well. So now we've seen our Nightmare Joker wearing this kind of hospital garb, this kind of like maybe it's like a straitjacket or something with like longer hair and like different makeup without the tattoos. I think
it reminds me of like there's I don't know why, but it reminds me of the opening of The Killing Joke. Like when Batman walks in to tell Joker like we can't be fighting anymore. So
definitely, I agree. I think it looks wonderful. And as you said yesterday when we were talking, you said it gives a Last Night on Earth vibe, and I definitely get that. Obviously we know that Zack Snyder has taken some
I can tell he's taken a lot of things because in the comic. Joker. What you said about like Joker become the future yet to come.
Yes, right. In the Variety thing that they talked about how Joker is going to act as this kind of ghost of Christmas yet to come. He
also played that role in Last Night on Earth, but kind of similar like that, but like that as well. So like a guy.
Well, he will be showing. It sounds like he will be showing Batman. What happens if they fail. This kind of like alternate future. Which I think is, what a lot of people complain about the nightmare sequence in Batman v Superman, saying like, oh yeah, I get it, but it doesn't really have a point to be there. So I think this will definitely give that more kind of weight, which I'm, obviously super happy about. It's all coming together, John. It's all coming together.
And then, I'm sorry, but chronologically, we saw the
first teaser.
Second teaser.
No, first teaser, yeah.
Second teaser?
First
First. So we saw the first teaser for the trailer.
Yes.
So we're getting a trailer for a trailer. The music every time I hear the teaser.
Absolutely brilliant. I'm sure it's more Junkie XL stuff, but one of the things that I am super excited. Oh yeah, if they have some cool art cards with the vinyl, I'm definitely get it. I'm all about the art cards, everyone. One of the things that one of the pieces that I really want to see be explored in Justice League is at the end of Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Cut. When the kind of like SWAT team like come to capture Lex, you see this giant Steppenwolf, and the music swells to this like incredible crescendo, and it's like super impactful. And I remember watching it, and I went, "Oh my god!" Like for the first time, and I just really want to see like them give Steppenwolf and like everyone in Apocalypse this this weight behind them and this fury. Yeah. I think. Yeah, I think superhero villains don't always have like a sound that I can like associate with them, but I really hope that they do in Justice League.
Yeah, like especially to Steppenwolf, because Steppenwolf has been like brutally like he's just like done nothing in the film, and that's what kind of made it really bad because of in the Justice League, it's just the villain's just bland. But then Snyder, it's just kind of it sad. Like we want to see a bear villain and like all the stuff that we want to see, and it's just like
so they really it seems like they're going to bring it all home. So other things we saw in this trailer, we saw Steppenwolf revealing the anti-life equation similar to Darkseid. The anti-life equation, for those who don't know, and I'm not a huge authority on this, but as I understand it, the anti-life equation is all about Darkseid trying to create this, like it's this kind of formula which is in the comics, or maybe in the comics, what makes Superman go evil for a little bit. I need to really find out more about that, I must say. But other great stuff in that teaser, we got some of Wonder Woman fighting, some of Batmobile, and that shot of Superman. You can see it on screen right now. Absolutely wonderful. This is actually a shot that was in the theatrical cut, and I remember seeing it in the theatrical cut and being like, that's really cool. That is definitely Snyder, and I'm glad. And it looks even better with the correct colours. Yeah.
Wait, do we see it in the theatrical cut?
We do. That shot is in the theatrical cut. I remember it. There are a couple of shots when Superman Return. Obviously, there are some dreadful shots. I can't
remember that in the theatrical cut.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I watched it last year, so it's kind of it's pretty fresh in my mind.
I don't think that's in the theatrical cut.
No, it is.
It's
definitely in the theatrical cut. 100%.
The Justice League?
Yeah, it's in there. That shot is in there. It's just not with the black suit and everything. So that's why. Obviously, why it looks different. But I remember quite a few things. In that final battle, you'll have like a great shot, and it'll be like, well, that's a Snyder shot because the mustache isn't there. And then another shot where he says something stupid, and it's like, well, that's definitely a Whedon shot because the mustache is there. But then let's talk about the final teaser. We've got some great stuff in there, but obviously the big thing was our first look at Apocalypse with Darkseid, Dissard, and Granny Goodness.
Let me tell you, Darkseid is just more terrifying than ever because there's a really cool detail about like the first trailer that we saw for the Snyder Cut is when Darkseid used his weapon to maybe create the anti-life equation.
Yes, that's what that is. Yeah.
And then he wasn't wearing any armor. That's you see in that image. He's wearing armor.
That's young Darkseid. That's Uxas or Uxas.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm not overly familiar with that, but I do know that that's young Darkseid before he has taken up the mantle. So I know that there is definitely there's a change to him. And, there are so many things that I'd love to see, from Darkseid.
And then what you said about like there was a post I saw on Twitter about like Darkseid and Cyborg having the same ears.
Yes, you sent me that. Yeah, so that there's some interesting stuff. There is a kind of a thread in the. When I say there's a thread, there's one line about it in the theatrical cut. So there'll probably be more, unless that was but there's a line where Aquaman is like, well, I don't know, we can trust Cyborg because he was made by the enemy's weapon. And there's like 2 lines about it, but maybe in the Snyder Cut they will kind of develop that and show.
I think he is what Snyder wanted. He is the heart of the film because he is merged together with the Mother Box and Apocalyptic as well.
Yeah,
so,
he's kind of like this anchor to the villains on the hero side,
like a bridge.
Yeah, exactly. And Granny Goodness. I didn't know who this was when I saw her, so I was a bit like, "Who is this old woman?"
Yeah,
and then I did a bit of research, found out that she is the head of the training. So she trains all the parademons and stuff, and trains this team called the Female Furies, and she is one of Darkseid's lieutenants. So that's really cool. Don't know who that is playing.
Snyder wanted to bring back old characters that no one has really heard before. But if you like a hard,
what are you eating? You're eating something.
No.
No.
It's just water.
Oh, okay. I see. It sounds like you're eating. Sorry. Go ahead.
So if you're a really diehard DC fan, and then you see Granny Goodness, it's a really satisfying thing to see.
Yeah, no, Twitter went aflame. It was trending, which is always good to see. And hopefully, HBO Max is coming to other countries. Hopefully, it'll come to the UK. Fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that is a whole load of Snyder Cut news, and we will talk about the trailer next week.
Anything else? Oh, there was Flash changing time.
There was there were a couple of shots of Flash. There was a shot of the nightmare sequence.
Yeah. So there will be a teaser today. So we're pretty excited for that.
I'm extremely excited. It's going to be great. But yeah, so we'll go on to our next piece of news. I don't want to get too much into this, I don't want it to get too political, but it is worth, saying Gina Carano has been fired by Lucasfilm after her comments, and we just want to say we agree with this decision. We think
I'm very happy that they fired her because with the actions,
we think she went too far, and whatever they decide to do, whether they recast her or replace her, I always loved the character of Cara Dune, but I didn't think the actress's views justified her being on the show.
Yeah.
So
which wasn't okay. So so we just thought we'd just get that out.
Yeah. So that is that. But on a more positive note, some casting news for you, John.
Yes!
We've got some casting news for The Last of Us. So Pedro Pascal has been cast as Joel, so that's kind of a link to The Mandalorian. And Bella Ramsey, who was in Game of Thrones, has been cast as Ellie in HBO's The Last of Us series. I don't know anyone who isn't happy with this news. I haven't played the games myself, but I think this sounds great. I think Pedro Pascal is a great actress, and I'm sure Bella Ramsey is also. What do you think?
I'm pretty excited for this because, with Pedro Pascal, I can tell that, and I think someone said that he can make a great, a deep American voice because Joel is very sad. Well, he's very sad and he's kind of very tired about the world he's living in. Yes. But then he meets Ellie, and then that they work together, and I think they can do it honestly. But it's got the Chernobyl writer. Which I'm happy with because I've seen Chernobyl.
Is it good?
Oh yeah, Chernobyl's brilliant.
Yeah, no, I've heard good things about Chernobyl. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I hope they do the music properly because the music in the game is just beautiful, with the guitar strumming and which fits into this sad apocalyptic world, and so. Yeah, there's some sad moments. So I hope they don't ruin it on too many things. So I don't know, but Pedro Pascal being as Joel is just the Mandalorian. Come on, child, we need to go over here and get you there. So
Pedro Pascal can just become the face of characters who take up children and raise them.
Yeah. Wait, where's the show going to be on?
HBO, I think.
Not HBO Max?
Maybe HBO Max, I'm not sure, but it's definitely, it's being made by HBO, but, I mean...
maybe. Yeah. So, I can tell that Last of Us fans are pretty excited, so...
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got some more casting news. I know, it's what a week. So, The Grey Man, which is a Netflix film coming out with Ryan Gosling and Ana de Armas, and Chris Evans has just been cast as the villain. And I just want to say, obviously, I love Ryan Gosling, I love Ana de Armas, I love Chris Evans. This is an overload for my brain. All these Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans, these very attractive men in the same film. I might just explode.
Yeah, if you've seen Ryan Gosling in many different films, like La La Land, Drive, and everything, he's a great actor, Best Man as well. And then Chris Evans, who hasn't played a villain as much, but
Scott Pilgrim.
He's very different. Quite serious.
I think that Scott Pilgrim is
Yeah. I like that line.
Obviously, I love Captain America, but I think Scott Pilgrim, where he plays Lucas Lee, that is definitely my favourite role of his.
Yeah.
I think he is, absolutely hilarious. Hey, I'm talking to you, Scott Pilgrim. The only thing that stops me and her from being together is the 2 seconds it's going to take to kick your ass. I think he's absolutely wonderful. Yeah. He's like, hey, big fan. Why wouldn't you be?
So, I'm very excited to see this chemistry between Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans, Ryan Gosling being the hero maybe, but Chris Evans as the villain. What the heck?
Yeah, that's quite cool, and I'm interested to see how he will kind of be, because obviously he played a kind of a villainous role in Knives Out as well. So
he was great. He was great.
Yeah, he was great in Knives Out. But I'm interested to see what it's all like. But yeah, so we've got a final piece of news, which is also a final piece of casting news. Zawe Ashton, who people in the UK might know from being in Doctor Who, she was in Into the Dalek, and she's also been in a show called Fresh Meat. She has been cast as the villain for Captain Marvel 2. So I don't really know anything about who the villain might be, but I am becoming more and more excited about Captain Marvel 2. I'm not a huge fan of Captain Marvel, but the character or the film. But I think that this looks great. I think Zawe Ashton's a wonderful actress. I think that I'm very excited to see Monica Rambeau from WandaVision and see Miss Marvel, which I'm excited for the show, as well as her appearance in Captain Marvel 2. And Nia DaCosta being the person directing it. I hear she's made some great films, and I think she's making Candyman later this year. So
Candyman! I saw the trailer.
So I have high hopes for this next film.
Yes, of course. I think this is a good chance to see her in a Marvel film, and I think she did really well in Into the Dalek.
Yeah, I agree. Doctor Who season 8 is one of my favourite Doctor Who seasons.
It was a great introduction to the 12th Doctor.
Capaldi, my God, I think there are some absolutely amazing episodes in there.
Second favourite. So good. Yeah,
Into the Dalek is a great one. Mummy on the Orient Express, Time Heist. There are
fun fact, I've been on the set of the Mummy on the Orient Express.
Yes, you have. Amazing.
Yeah. I wasn't allowed to give out secrets of what's going on, so it was cool.
Brilliant. What a guy.
So so happy to see that.
Yeah, I would have loved to go to Doctor Who The Experience for Capaldi, but obviously it closed down after Matt Smith left, which was a real shame.
Yeah, Matt Smith.
Yeah, my guy. I miss him.
But
anyway, so let's talk about WandaVision, shall we?
Is that done?
That is done. Let's talk about WandaVision.
WandaVision. Okay, so
episode
me
6.
and Tom just discussed this yesterday, but we didn't delve deep.
Yeah, we didn't really talk much about it, but let's, spoilers ahead, so if you haven't watched it, go watch it.
Spoilers,
or
if you haven't got your popcorn and seen WandaVision, I wasn't to say eating WandaVision, but okay.
People, don't eat WandaVision. Disclaimer.
Don't eat it. That is your console or TV, just don't eat it.
Yeah, it comes with a lot of,
let's get into
it. Right, so what did you think?
It it was interesting to see this episode because we get to see Quicksilver like interacting with Wanda, like they're from two different worlds, you know, like combining together. But then we got like questions about Quicksilver. Why is he asking questions about Wanda? This and this. How does he know this and this? So this kind of like raise questions about, is he really Mephisto? So
yeah, I think Quicksilver's an interesting one because there's a bit of a like, you know, there's something kind of untrustworthy about him. You know, if that makes sense. Like he's a character who to me, you know, feels like, you know, he's got some sort of ulterior motive that he's kind of, you know, that it looks like. You know, obviously, like, his face is unfamiliar to, you know, the people on the show, and I think some of the things that he says, it feels like he's trying to, like, he's got some sort of, you know, a different kind of mandate to do something with, but yeah, still, I'm wondering what's going on with him. Obviously, there was that shot, you know, like how they did the dead vision shot in episode 3.
Oh yeah,
they
like
did the same thing, or was it episode 4? But they did the same thing with Quicksilver being dead, and I don't think it was as big a deal because it wasn't, you know, it wasn't Aaron Taylor Johnson Quicksilver, so it didn't really feel like it was like a huge,
more impactful, I believe.
Yeah, it wasn't as impactful, I don't think, because obviously this is a different Quicksilver, so therefore I didn't really, you know, get that, you know, kind of gut punch that I did when I saw the Vision one.
Yeah. So I thought it was really cool for the introduction because it was like Malcolm in the Middle style, like the introduction, like the start of it. Like,
it kind of places, this episode kind of feels, well, at least the sitcom side of it.
I feel it flowed a bit better than any of the episodes, like with the fourth wall breaking and everything.
Yeah, I did feel like it had a decent flow. There was the sitcom stuff felt like it was more about the kids than it was about the parents. And honestly, I don't like the kids. I think that they are, you know, like, I don't know. I just think that they're annoying, plain and simple. I just don't like the kids.
I would say they're a bit annoying. Like, Mom, can we go and do this, Mom?
Exactly. They're like, oh, please, Mom, please. Oh, have superpowers now, and it's like it feels like they're just kind of, you know, like ticking this box. And
yeah. And this episode, the subplot with like Jimmy Woo, Darcy, and Wambero. It just felt very ordinary. Like,
yeah, so that was fine.
So predictable.
There was this kind of like mystery that they were trying to solve. You know, like, they were taking off the
like, so first of all, it's all predictable. Like, they go into the guy who's owning everything. Like, can we help Wanda? And then the guy's like, no, get out. And then they get like escorted by the guards. They take down the guards. They go into this room where they can find the server and everything, and then they're trying to go there, and then one of them leaves behind, like, no, what are you doing? Oh, I'll stay here, and then goes, and then like, let's go and see this guy.
Yeah, I feel like this episode, you know, a lot of it felt like it was trying to do like a very like, oh no, everything has been for nothing. You know, it's been a very I feel like it was trying to do this thing where it's like, you know, it ends on a downer and it creates like a sense of hopelessness going forward, you know, but it to me, it just felt like we've backtracked on everything, you know, every progression that we've made in the plot to uncover this mystery has been undone. So what was the point of it all? Now we're going to have to do it again, you know? Like, now it looks like...
It's kind of a bit empty.
Yeah, it kind of feels like Jimmy and Monica are now just going to have to figure it out and get everyone out. Like, the same thing, just on a bigger scale without all the technology, it seems like. I mean, maybe it'll change with whoever this informant is that they say they have.
But, like, so they're trying... I think they're trying to get into that, yeah. But also, it was interesting to see how Vision... was interacting with like the people in the town, like, and it was dark as well. Like she was like controlling, Wanda like controlling the people who are like further out in the town.
Yeah, I have to say, in these last 2 episodes, Vision has been my favorite part.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, he's been like my favorite character.
Yeah, he's got some like very, very like interesting stuff, like him figuring it out, and I think his interactions with all of the townsfolk are great. Like, I think Agnes had a really great scene where she was like, "Oh my god, am I dead?" And she's like, "No, no, no, no. Why would you think that?" And it's like, because you are. And it's like, that was obviously in the trailer, but like I thought it was done really, really well.
Yeah,
and then Vision kind of go on.
Yeah, if it, you know, like it was like one of those Jordan Peele moments, like in like Get Out, or was like that the character stayed still, and it was like, ooh, this is very interesting. So
it was. I just think it was done with a lot. Like, obviously, I think all these episodes are directed by the same person, and I think that, you know, let's say that Jordan Peele did it. I think that he would have brought a lot more. You know, I would have felt the weight of a lot of like the situation of these townspeople with someone like him. You know, who can obviously with Get Out can show, you know, people struggling with this kind of like mind control-esque thing. I think that would be a lot better than it would, you know, if it was, you know, someone else. I don't think it could be creepier. I think, and I think that's kind of my kind of feeling for a lot of the show. It could be creepier.
It could be a lot creepier, but I think that's gonna maybe show that. Oh yeah, there was another question I thought about, like, where did the children come from in the town?
Yeah, right. Last episode, Vision was saying, "Where are all the children?" And now, like, you know, there are loads of them. Maybe she just stole children.
Did she kidnap them?
She's the child catcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh God, not one Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Children. Yeah, brilliant. She's luring them in with lollipops.
So that'll be a crash. Or did they just appear out of nowhere?
Well, like, I think that's the interesting part. I think that's kind of creepy. I think a lot of the scarier aspects of this show, I really want to see like them lean into, because it's interesting, you know.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, I'm just like scary, but
I don't think
it's not too scary.
But no, I don't think it's that scary. I think, okay, I don't want Vision to survive this. Like, you know, you see
I agree. I don't want Vision to have like an important role for the future things, but I just want him like dead.
Well, you just see him. You know, this whole show is obviously about Wanda clinging onto things that, you know, are gone. With Quicksilver, with Vision, you know, with this life that she could have had with Vision and like kids and stuff. And I think, you know, as you see at the end of the episode, Vision is kind of withering away. And I do hope the Vision, like, you know, can't survive after the Hex, and that is what sends Wanda over the edge, you know.
Yeah. But it was pretty cool to see Wanda, like, going Super Saiyan, stopping everyone, like, in time.
Yeah, that was quite interesting. But then again, I question her motives. Was she doing that as, like, a like thing to save Vision, or was she doing it to, like, you know, stop people from interfering? Because obviously, like, they've all become clowns now, or circus folk. You know, the military are clowns. But yeah, I just want to say, obviously, this is a Halloween episode, and Wanda and Vision are dressed up in their classic outfits. Can I just say, I'm so sick of the MCU showing the original outfits and being like, "Oh, this is so ridiculous!" Like, you know, when they are when Vision's talking about like him wearing this ridiculous outfit. Like, generally, if they did like a high quality version of those outfits and had the characters wear it, think like Aquaman or Shazam or something, or even like, you know,
they just can't be bothered to do like the old action comic style.
I think if you gave them like a little bit of a modern update, you know, kept the colours bright, you know, made it look like Aquaman's suit in Aquaman, which I think is the peak of superhero costumes in my opinion, I think it would look brilliant. But they're just like giving these like low like versions and being like, oh, that's ridiculous. Like they did it in the Netflix shows as well. They would like have them reference the original costumes, you know, and just be like, oh, that's stupid. It looks horrible. And it's like, well, why don't you just like you're adapting a comic book here? Why not just like
why are you trashing it? So
yeah, just like lean into it. I think
yeah, like what DC did. DC they kept the old comic style. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
and it's like, you know, you can adapt it. Not everything has to be.
You know. Wait, forget about the comic style. Make your own style. You just ignore that.
Yeah, it's like you can like. There's no reason why you can't like adapt it, but I think you shouldn't adapt it while at the same time making fun of the old stuff, you know? I think the old stuff can work, and I think the new stuff can work. I think they can both work, you know?
Yeah, but they just decided to trash it anyway, but...
Yeah, I think it'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think you'd give this episode out of 10?
7?
Yeah, I think I agree. I think then this is the annoying thing. All the episodes after like episode 4 have just been like the same, you know? Like I don't feel like this show has really gone anywhere interesting since, you know, episode 4, which is still my favorite episode. So
what happened in episode 4?
That was the one with it was all set in the modern day, and it gave answers to loads of questions, and it had it started with Monica waking up from the blip.
Oh, yeah.
Which was literally the best scene in the show. Like, hands down. That was, like, my heart was racing. Like, I got so excited. That was the best, like, ever. But yeah,
that's a really good episode. Tell your thoughts about WandaVision, and what do you think of it? And
give us a comment.
Anything that you want to talk about, like some moments. So
give us a comment, give us an email, all that stuff. Our information is down in the description, or if you just want to leave a comment.
Description.
Shall we talk about Dawn of the Dead?
Ah, yes.
We're beginning our Zack Snyder extravaganza over the next 5 weeks. Yes, we are going to be talking.
5 weeks until the Snyder Cut.
5 weeks until the Snyder Cut. So this week, Dawn of the Dead. Next week, 300. Week after that, Watchmen Ultimate Cut. Week after that, Man of Steel, and then Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition, and then Zack Snyder's Justice League to cap it all off on the 21st of March. Very exciting.
1st of March. Wow. So
21st, not first. 21st.
21st?
Yes. The Snyder Justice League comes out in America on the 18th, so I assume that it will be the same in the UK. And if it isn't, I'm going to cry.
Maybe Zack Snyder will announce the stuff like...
I hope so. When he drops the trailer, I hope we get some information about what's happening in this country.
Please, Zack.
We've still got over a month to go.
Okay.
So yeah. So it's about Dawn of the Dead.
Time to talk about Dawn of the Dead.
So this is Zack Snyder's first film that he made, which is an adaptation of a version from the 80s, which I haven't seen, so I can't really comment
it's directed by Romero, and the Romero film had no zombies, at all.
Oh, really?
Because he wanted to make it more scarier, like no zombies at all. Like it's eerie. It's completely.
Okay, so this is more of a balls to the wall action version of that.
Yes, I think there may be zombies. I don't know, but that's what there was a YouTube video on it. But anyway, let's get into it.
Well, straight off the bat, I kind of want to say that this is, you know, you can see this is not like, you know, having seen a good half of Zack Snyder's films. This isn't, you know, if I watched this film, I wouldn't have guessed that it was Zack Snyder. You know,
of course, like
it's not full Snyder. The like the filmmaking techniques. It feels like a lot of, if you watch like many people's like filmography, any directors, I'll bring up Wes Anderson as my favorite director. You can see like
you can see Quentin Tarantino's and Wes Anderson's style.
Right, exactly. In both of their first film, you know, Bottle Rocket and Reservoir Dogs, you can see that they have their styles, but it's not fully there yet. And I think that's the case with Dawn of the Dead. There are things like the slow motion, the use of music. I think in the opening scene they play a Bob Dylan song, and I think
no, it's Johnny Cash.
Is Johnny Cash? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, the man comes around. That was also
I thought that was
Logan at the end of it, like the credits.
Was it?
Rolling.
I'm a fool then. I thought it was Bob Dylan, but never mind.
But
I thought that was
a great artist. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, they both are. I thought that that song was really cool for the opening, and so yeah, you see a lot of Zack Snyder's kind of like tropes kind of start to kind of form, and I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I know he can make a great introduction to the film, like especially with the song "The Man Comes Around," like all the scary like footage of the zombies and like
it gives context and scope. Like if I compare this to another incredible zombie film, Shaun of the Dead, which might be the quintessential like greatest zombie film out there.
But Dawn of the Dead is up there as well. But
I thought, but Shaun of the Dead has like similar kind of like flicking through news reports and stuff, and I think it's a solid way of providing. I think it's a solid way of providing context. Go on.
Sorry, but it's a more comedic side in Shaun of the Dead.
Definitely, like, this is it's not obviously a lot of Zack's films are pretty serious.
As well.
But like this isn't completely serious. There's quite a bit of levity in there.
But I think you just would have had fun in this film, really, to like make it different, because this is a really good film to start off with. Like,
I agree. I think Zack Snyder. I'm going to make a bit of a sweeping statement, but I think it's fair to say he is one of, if not the king of adaptations. All of his films, as far as I know, are adaptations. Of comic
I don't think
books,
any director has like a really good adaptation than anything. But I'll give him the crown, because he knows how to make one. Like Watchmen, Superman, like Man of Steel.
Yeah, definitely.
He knows how to like flesh out characters and to use them carefully in films.
Yeah, so, I agree. I think well done, Zach. You've got the crown. Out Time Film
Podcast
well done, crown.
Well done, man. This is the crown of like being the best film adaptation. So you did well, man.
So what I really liked about this film in terms of the characters is that they are all stereotypes in kind of some form or another. You've got like you're kind of like hard edge, like tough policemen. You've got like, but on the other side, you've got like these really douchey, like toxic masculinity, like men who are like security. You've got a nurse. You've got like a black criminal. You've got you got like frail old women and men, and what I appreciate is how all these stereotypes are subverted in some sort of way. You got the pregnant lady and stuff.
Yeah,
but they're all subverted in the sense of they are. Each character kind of has to go through this journey and step up. They have to take a role of more. Not care, but they have to deal with this situation in their own kind of way.
But like they all like merge together, and it's just so good. Like usually films that have stereotypes that don't work as much, but like what Zack does is like he put them together in a mall, like the most unexpected place to have.
Yes, and I do want to say you're in a mall with a sports shop. And they barely take advantage of a sports shop. Like, you could get yourself like some like American football pads, like get like a helmet on, like cover yourself up. Like, I feel like the amount of time
or like baseball bats. Was there baseball bats? No, there was like croquet.
Yeah, he uses a croquet bat at one point. Is it a bat? I don't know what you'd call it.
It was a croquet.
It was a croquet.
But, yeah, okay, that's fine. But I read in an Empire article, I believe. Like all the films that we missed, I recommend you reading it because it's so good to see all these people talk about their favorite cinema moments.
Yes.
So I had a similar cinema moment in this one little bit. There was one person talking about Dawn of the Dead, the Zack Snyder one. So he saw it with the audience, this guy, and the audience was like engaging with the film, like, no, shoot, and then he was like having a fun time, just like, no, like it was like some you go see some robots versus robots trying to fight each other, and
it was like it's like a football game or like a boxing match or something.
Yeah, like cheering on and doing that. I felt like that, like watching Dawn of the Dead. Like, no, you have to shoot the baby. That kind
right,
of
exactly. There was some stuff like towards the end when the girl, I can't remember her name, she goes back for the dog, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Don't go into all the zombies to get the dog. The dog's gonna come back on his own. He'll be fine. Like,
yeah.
Obviously, that character is a very, like, you know, traumatized.
Yeah, but there are incredibly smart people in this film. Like, they know how to do, like, make SOS signs. And,
yes, they all...
carefully at the mall.
Yeah, they all really, you know, despite me saying they don't, like, you know, wear the appropriate clothes with, like, in the mall, they use all the resources to their advantage, you know, and especially the way that they gear up all of the buses at the end. You know, they pad them up to, like, you know, so they can escape the zombies. And I think it's done in a really, really, you know, creative way. You know, with with some of those, you know, characters who aren't normally like action heroes, like the guy who the guy who sells TVs. He becomes, I think his name's Michael. I think he becomes like
Michael.
He becomes like you know a big like leader.
Yeah, and the also thing I liked about with the character development of CJ. So CJ, he hated the people that were going into the mall.
Yes, he is like the toxic male, like, of the bunch. Like, you know, like him and his friend, they have like comments on, like, you know, women putting their mouths to, like, the good use, or, like, you know, them, like, hating the fact that this guy is gay. And I thought that, you know, the way that on one hand you had his CJ's pal who doesn't get over that and therefore dies because of it, but CJ is a character who evolves and, you know, actively goes out of his way to save the other people, while at the beginning he is totally selfish.
Yeah. So, I felt like he wanted to save others, but he went out with a bang. Intended.
He did, and I just want to as well. That guy is in Man of Steel as well. So fun little cross Zack Snyder thing. I can't remember his name, but he is in Man of Steel. Plays one of the workers at the Daily Planet.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird to see him as like a very innocent guy, just like working around and just like, oh, I'm not a guy who's toxic masculinity.
Yes. I think there's some great characters. Ving Rhames as the policeman. I think he was great. And the other guy, Andre, I thought that you really understood where he was coming from, you know? Like, his wife is turning into, you know, she's been bitten and she's infected.
When he got, like, infected, and it was, like, a really sad moment, because this is, like... Yeah, like, he was just about to die, and he looked like a really nice person, he
cared a lot about his wife, you know, and about, like, his baby, or his girlfriend and his baby, and that was, like, that was a big part of, you know, what made that character. I think a lot of the time, you know, characters do kind of have to be killed, like, you know, by zombies to kind of, like, up the stakes. And not only does it up the stakes, but, like, you can do... Zack does so much with so little for some of these characters.
Yeah.
I do think
that's, like, the best thing about Zack Snyder characters.
Yes.
So...
I will say that in this film particularly, it is half and half. I think that some characters, like, you know, will have one scene, and when they die, I'm like, oh man, like, I really felt that. But for other characters, like, you don't really know much about them, and therefore their deaths kind of land flat. Like, they're just kind of like,
but this is just the first film, so we kind of
of course, you know, like, it's a small thing, but it's like there's this one girl who, like. The two things I know about her is that she likes wearing lingerie and having sex, and that is it. And then when she dies, I felt nothing. You know, I laughed. I laughed a little bit because someone put a chainsaw through her shoulder.
I think that's what Zack maybe wanted, like, to have worthless characters to, like, you know, test something, but I don't know.
I think that some of the characters definitely do serve that purpose, but I think others, you know, it's not. I think it could be a bit more, a little tighter, especially like give an extra 10 minutes and develop some of those characters towards the middle. But there is like a really nice montage of everyone in the mall, kind of like having this kind of little like family unit where they're all working together. They're playing basketball. The cop is playing is playing what's it called, chess with Andy, who's across the roof.
Yeah.
And I think it all kind of like really you see like a good relationship between everyone kind of start to evolve.
Yeah. And what else? It was like very interesting to see that. And then when we get to see the start of the film, like it was all calm, it's all peaceful. A guy gets bitten. Who cares? And then the creepy thing is that her daughter becomes a zombie, and we all knew it was like, oh geez. So and it was all crazy.
Yes.
That's a great way of the introducing a character like the main protagonist.
It is. Great. It puts them in this kind of like really like intense situation. Was that her daughter?
Yeah.
I thought that was the kid that she was speaking to outside.
Yeah, that's her daughter.
Nah, she wasn't saying that's her daughter, was she?
Well, it's got to be, because
I thought it was someone else. I thought it was like a neighbour's kid or something, or like...
No, it's her daughter.
Okay, interesting. I didn't really get that come across, so maybe that's an argument for like maybe you could have like had a bit more time at the beginning. But I agree with you. I think in like 5 minutes, exactly who the main character is. You know what she does. She's a nurse. Like what she cares about. She cares about her, her boyfriend.
No, like pauses or something. Oh, gotta do this. Oh no. So it's dead on, straight on.
Exactly. And it's interesting because like there's a really, really like really a powerful moment where she's looking for a first aid kit and she sits down and she just starts crying. Which is really powerful, and then the guy who's one of the like douchebag security guys,
sunshine,
one of the toxic males, and he's just like, what's taking so long? And she has to just like stop crying and compose herself and just leave, which is like that is what it's like in those situations. You're having like really intense, like you can't stop to cry, and I think that was probably one of the best moments of the film. Just this really human moment of of pain that has to be immediately silenced. I loved it. And on the same level, I did love I loved how Andy, who owns the gun store, they created a bond with him, and you never even get to see him. It's like, have you seen Rear Window?
The Hitchcock film.
Yes.
Yes.
Right, so Rear Window, as you know, it doesn't have any like all the characters that the main character watches. You never like actually like speak to them or anything.
Yeah.
But you still like the film tells you so much without like having any dialogue, and I think there was that kind of connection to Rear Window in Dawn of the Dead because Andy as a character, you don't know anything about him, like that you just see like him holding up some signs, and then by the end when he's like starving,
it's like a silent character.
Yeah, you care about him, and then like when he dies, that is again pretty impactful.
Yeah, like it's a character that you hoping to be saved, but then it's just like, oh man. And then the film gets on to like the ending. I thought the ending. There was like some crazy moments when they were like getting on the bus, and then the old guy. He had a chainsaw, and he accidentally killed one of the characters on the bus, like in half. And it was like a messed up moment. I was like, "What the heck?" So
yeah, I agree. I think that ending killed off characters like bam, bam, and I was like, "Whoa, calm down, rewind." Like what's going on?
And I feel it felt like very realistically. If you think about like. Somebody moments like, oh no, my leg, it's got scratched. I don't know where, but
it's different. It is different to like the slow burn. If I compare it to Shaun of the Dead, it's like in Shaun of the Dead, one character just gets like grabbed by like a whole like crowd of zombies and just pulled apart from like the stomach. So I felt like similarities to that. Yeah.
Yeah, but kind of like that. But then, it's just like a different similar note, because then we see Michael saying that he got bit and then he had to leave, and it was like a very powerful moment, because like he's standing there like the end of the pier, like seeing the sunset.
Yeah, that was great. It's like Michael and CJ both had these like moments where their characters, like they got to die on their own terms, like CJ sacrificed himself and Michael was just like, I'm not going to turn myself into one of those things, they both do the right thing in the end, which is, really wonderful to see. But even though the film ends on a kind of a light-hearted note, it doesn't really, because did you watch like the all the credits?
Yeah.
Like you can see like at the end, I think it's implied that they don't get away, they all get killed,
Yeah, like, the boat, oh man, yeah. But maybe we could see that in Army of the Dead, but we don't know.
Yes, right, this film did make me very, it's made me very intrigued and excited to watch Army of the Dead.
Yeah, so I'm excited for, because it's going to be like a zombie heist film. So like, they're trying to get all the money in the bank in Las Vegas.
Oh, really?
In Army of the Dead. So that's why they're getting a team together to get this. I don't know, but that's what the description said, but I'm not sure. But
that's set to come out this year, so I'm really excited for that one.
Yeah. So and another thing, I have a prediction when the Army of the Dead is coming out. Is that it may come out maybe before June, or maybe more or before May, so that we could see that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wonder how Army of the Dead is gonna, because we know that Army of the Dead is gonna get a prequel series as well. So I'm wondering, and I'm really interested. I think it would be cool if these two films, obviously being set in the same world of Dawn of the Dead, would bring back some of the characters. Bring back Ving Rhames' cop, or the main nurse. Like, obviously I don't remember their names, but like I am interested. I do care about them. I am interested to see where they go. But yeah, so Zack Snyder's first film. What are you giving it out of 10?
A 9 or a 10. I don't know.
Okay. I think I'll give it an 8. I do think some of the side characters aren't quite developed enough for me. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's a great start.
Yeah, I'll give it a 9. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful start to his filmography, and I think from what I've seen, it only gets better from here.
Yeah, and so I'm excited to look on the other films again, like Watchmen 300, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman. So yeah, it's going to be a great time, like revisiting old films. So yeah.
So tell us what you thought of Dawn of the Dead. If you watched it this week with us for the first time, tell us in the comments. Throw us an email. DM us on Twitter or Instagram. It'd be great to hear from you. Also, or just your opinions on Zack Snyder in general, or if you've watched this film ages ago and you have memories of it, tell us about all of that. We'd love to know. And yeah, let's move on to our weekly viewing segment. What have we watched this week, John?
Okay, so I watched Jerry Maguire.
Tell me about it.
So we got Tom Cruise young is very very different here. So so this film is about the movie Moneyball.
Yes, I do.
So this one is more NFL based, more American football. So this guy is trying to get teams or people to get on this team, or to exchange players for a price. So so it's a comedy film which I really enjoyed, and it's romance because it's got Renee Zellweger in it.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's a great chemistry. It's a great scene. The chemistry on screen. and as well, and like there were some great shots that I really loved in the film. But the story is great. It's just like very like heartbreaking, but then there's like great moments like you kind of makes you cry, but I didn't cry. But like you have these like very emotions with these characters, and there was great character development between Tom Cruise and did you know a supporting actor? I forgot his name. I'll Google him now. So Jerry. So this supporting actor, he won an Oscar.
Really?
Cuba Gooding Jr. He played this
I know him. Yeah.
So he won this actor, and he earned it. Like he did so well in this film.
Nice.
Which I recommend watching this film. It's a 10 out of 10. Like, like the music. Oh, the music. Yeah, there were some great song choices that I really liked that fit into the movie. And it's an enjoyable film to watch.
Brilliant.
Literally, if you're feeling sad. Yeah. So
brilliant. I've just put it on my list of things to watch.
Yes. So Tom, what have you been watching?
Yes. What is it, Puppet Man? I have watched Some Like It Hot, which is a film from the 50s starring Marilyn Monroe and some other people whose name clearly aren't as memorable. And it's a story of two guys who want to get out of... need to get out of the city. I can't remember which city it was they're in, and then they dress up as women to like join a women's band, and it's a comedy, obviously. It's like a rom-com, and the like all the things that they do, like the hijinks to kind of like get like to kind of gain the affection of the women they're trying to impress is really funny, and some of the stuff that they do, and like the nature of some of their quirky characters. Like one person accidentally like gets like involved with this like old like millionaire, and it's really cool. I will say I don't really understand the whole thing against like about Marilyn Monroe. Everyone was obsessed with her. You know, she allegedly had like a relationship with JFK and stuff. Like I didn't really get that, but I guess it's a different time, and you know people have different wants and needs. But and some of the parts of the film have aged a little weird, you know, like a little badly. You know, there is like some stuff about like a man can't marry a man, or like, you know, like dressing up as women. That whole stuff aged a little shakily, but I think it's wonderful and it's funny, and it's got some of those, you know, moments that you can see like be replicated elsewhere, and I think the plot is pretty airtight as well. It's simplistic, and you know, a lot of things come back. But yeah, it's funny, and it's a really good kind of like look into that era. So I really liked it. Yeah, I recommend it.
What would you give it out of 10?
I'll give it out of 10. I'll probably give it like an 8. Only because some of those things, as I said, have aged kind of badly. But you know, yeah, probably 8 out of 10. So what have you watched? You anything else?
What have I been watching? Right, give me 1 second because I have a list somewhere.
I got an email.
From who?
From Zane. He's given us our thumbnail. It's a good thumbnail.
Yay! Give props to Zane.
Woo! It's very. Oh, that's.
Give me one.
Whew, that's very nice. I love it. Did he draw that all by himself?
Yes.
Don't even know.
Ooh, okay.
What is happening right now? I'm hearing a door sliding.
Don't worry, I'm just looking for my list because I have a list.
Oh, nice. I also have a list. How many? How many films have you watched this year?
Right. Okay. So.
Wait, I'm interested. How many films have you watched this year?
Right. So.
John. I just before you start, I just want to know how many films have you watched this year?
This year already?
Yeah, this year. How many have you watched?
I would say 10.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, so a film I watched. It's called Secret to My Success, and It's got Michael J. Fox in it.
Oh, You're continuing your Michael J. Fox a-thon.
Yeah, because I watched like the reunited between like Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd.
You watched Doc Hollywood last week, didn't you?
Yeah, so Doc Hollywood. So this one, Secret to My Success. I thought it was pretty good. Like Michael J. Fox working as someone like a male guy, like giving mail like a pistol and like just giving mail into this very luxurious place, and the way that he's gonna do it, like he wants to be like this guy, and instead he's like, so the tagline of the film says like, there's like impossible, you can't be you can't get rich in under 2 weeks. But this guy did. So
he got rich in under 2 weeks. Wait, is this a true story?
Yeah.
Is this a true story?
No.
Oh,
no.
Okay. I thought you meant like this guy redid it, and I'm like, oh, I need to figure this out.
Oh yeah, because that reminds me of American. Wait, what was it? American Made. Yeah, the Tom Cruise film. That kind of reminded me of that.
Oh yeah, I remember that film. I didn't see it.
That was a crazy film.
Oh, cool.
But anyway, yeah. So Secret to My Success. It is really funny to watch because some jokes didn't land as much, but it was really funny to see Michael J. Fox just trying to be as this employer, but trying to get this job, but also trying to be the mail, like the postal service, trying to send mail, and it's funny because it doesn't make sense, but like how does he get in these situations? And yeah, it was funny, and yeah, it was just enjoyable to watch. I'll just give it a 7 or 8.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm not going to give a third thing that I've watched this week, only because, John, you'll never guess what.
What?
We got an email.
From who?
We got an email from Master M. Revo. Hello, Master M. Revo. Is that Max Revo from Star Wars? Possibly. And they say, hello dudes, love the pod, it deserves all the views. Why thank you. We are nearly on 4,000 views for our Mulan video. Which is insane. And we're nearly on 100 subscribers. So, I mean,
yeah, I think
thank you everyone.
Milan video that kind of like gave us that push.
It really did. I think it was because, I don't even know, I think it's because it was such a topical film. But yeah, so so they're asking two things. So first of all, it is if you were to redo or adjust any part in the MCU, how would you go about doing it, John? How would you readjust or redo any part in the MCU?
Okay, so I'm just looking at the MCU films right now. I'm just gonna look at it now. Okay, so I wouldn't change anything about Iron Man, but like it's a great start to the MCU.
Yeah.
But I would have not have like Iron Man 2 as like a quick it's too quick to have a sequel, so I wouldn't have that as that. But then like I want like individual characters to have their own start, but then there was like some sequels that was having it in, and it felt too rushed. So I would like give like characters like their own solo film first, and then they get this whole thing together. But I would like have their story a bit changed, but it's great. So Guardians of the Galaxy, I wouldn't change anything to that. But Thor: The Dark World, I felt it was like they
should have kept Patty Jenkins as director.
Oh really?
Yeah, she was going to direct it and then she left. But then she did Wonder Woman, so like I think it was all good in the end.
But I thought Thor: The Dark World was a bit pointless. Like it didn't need to have this, but it was cool. But because they didn't take stuff from there, because there was like the convergence. They didn't take that idea as well. But I wouldn't change Captain America: The Winter Soldier. It is a great MCU film to watch. But it kept on going. But like Avengers: Age of Ultron, I wish there was more of Ultron. Like it was a bit scary, like very scary, to have like that voice that James Spader that did.
Yeah, James Spader, what a guy.
Yeah, great. Watched like behind the scenes of it, like how they did it.
Well, Age of Ultron had it was kind of studio meddled. It had like an original kind of idea, a Joss Whedon cut, if you will. So I'm kind of interested to see what that would have been.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not gonna watch that. But it's just Joss Whedon. But Civil War wouldn't change anything because it was like a very crucial point actually to the MCU.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, I would have killed War Machine.
Yeah, I would not. Yeah, but Doctor Strange, pointless.
Yeah,
wouldn't have it.
It doesn't. It doesn't really do anything other than serve as an introduction to the character.
Yeah, I felt like it was a bit pointless, but like it needs some stuff to it. And then we got another Thor film, but I wish Thor Ragnarok was the sequel, so I would have that because I thought it would be a bit funnier. Avengers: Infinity War. I wouldn't change anything about it. Because,
absolutely love that film.
Yeah, because it's a great film to have. Like, it's got a great villain, like one of the best villains out there. Yeah, so the score's great, which I love. I think Endgame.
Go on, yeah, go on.
Avengers Endgame. Yeah, there's a lot that needs to be changed.
Dab.
I wouldn't have Avengers Endgame because I would like to have Avengers Infinity War to have that end of that note.
Yeah, that is quite interesting.
Yeah, so that would be like an interesting, like, oh no, what's going to happen? But
yeah,
I would like that. So that would be it for me for the Avengers of MCU stuff. So
yeah, well,
that's
I think
it.
I could go on all day about things that I'd change, but I think like I'll give you 3 things that I would change, and I've given a lot of thought to this. So the first thing I'd change is I'd get rid of the relationship between Steve and Sharon Carter.
Oh yeah,
because if you get rid of that, the end of Endgame makes so much more. Like, you can keep Sharon Carter as a character, but she doesn't have to be a love interest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Second of all, I would have Captain America: The First Avenger be from when Cap saves Bucky. I'd have it be one journey instead of doing World War II in a montage. Have it be like one journey, like in Wonder Woman, for example. I think I spoke about that when we talked about Wonder Woman in the pod. And the final thing, the biggest thing, Endgame, I'd have time travel work as time travel, and they come back to the present, and taking out the Infinity Stones messed everything up. And they return to a world where all times have interlocked. You've got Roman soldiers, you've got Vikings, you've got Knights of the Round Table, all in the same time as the modern day. And not only that, but you've got characters from other MCU films interacting with others. So you've got Quicksilver's back, Ultron's back, Loki's back, all interacting with Thanos. And you can have this giant thing of epic proportions in with some wacky visuals similar to Doctor Strange in a fight that isn't as bland as I personally thought it was. And you can still have the same moments. You can still have the bit of character banter. You can still have Tony and Peter reuniting, stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's what would be my big change. So Master Enribo also asks, new trailer for Falcon and the Winter Soldier looks interesting. If you were creating the show, what would your storyline be?
I wouldn't have a love relationship because the love relationship between the MCU films doesn't work.
I agree, definitely, 100%.
It just felt a bit bland. So.
Maybe a love relationship between Bucky and Sam though. Okay, go on, continue.
Wait, what was it?
What would your storyline be?
For Endgame.
No, for Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, Winter Soldier. I don't know. Okay, so it starts off the Winter Soldier, maybe the camera follows the Winter Soldier going into Shield, and then that kind of reveals himself
No, you not Winter Soldier, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the TV show.
Oh, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
You fool!
Okay, what do I change about it? Maybe have the old Captain America, and maybe have that maybe sort of Secret Empire. Maybe we can have that back, and then have something like the Cosmic Cube. Maybe Loki will come in and take Captain America, and then Captain America holds the Cosmic Cube, and then that maybe starts Secret Empire.
That's quite interesting, actually. That's an interesting way to do that. I think that'd be quite cool. But I think the thing that I would do is I would have it be. Now, what I'm thinking is a kind of like a 2-season kind of arc here. So the first season is kind of like a struggle with the government, who's Captain America, who gets to be like this kind of corporate thing.
Yeah,
and at the end, they make a deal, and it's all about. And I want this to be like all about the Sokovia Accords, right? And
like the Soviet Accords didn't have like a massive impact to the films. It just felt like, oh, Sokovia.
Exactly, it was a plot. It was a plot device. So now I feel like what you could do in season 2 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, once they are on with the government, maybe they could go out and have to bring people in. And I'm thinking, bring in the Defenders. Have Falcon and Winter Soldier have to chase down Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, maybe even Spider-Man and Ant-Man. People who don't conform to the Accords when they technically should be. But then, in doing so, they are stopping, these heroes from helping themselves, and helping people. So, like, there's, I feel like you could have, like, a bit of a, a conflict there. And then from the terms of Bucky doesn't, Bucky's now being tied down by a government again after his work with the Winter Soldier. I think that would be very interesting to kind of like explore something like that in this kind of political thriller show. But I know it's 100% not going to do that, so like I'm not going to get like too attached to that idea.
Yeah, I like that.
Yes. So thank you, Master M. Rebo, for our first email in like forever.
That would be special. So you're the first guy to email or woman to email us. So thank you.
Yeah,
we'll put like a little shrine. Like
we're gonna make a shrine. Oh yes, it's gonna happen, everyone.
So thank you.
Yeah, and if you want to contact us,
quick question. That was a quick question.
Yeah, it really was. I love talking about what I changed in the MCU. Honestly, I can do it all day. But yeah, that is it for this week. And if you want to contact us, you can get in touch with us at outstimefilmpod@gmail.com. If you want to email us and be part of the email segment, which we really really would love to get going off the ground. Or DM us on Twitter and Instagram at outstimefilmpod. I'm Tom the Boardman on Twitter.
I am Comedy John 42 on Twitter.
And like, subscribe, share around if you're enjoying it.
And if you want to follow us, again, it's in the description if you have troubling. So
it all is. And if you want to stick around if you want to hear more about Zack Snyder in the next 5 weeks. We've got some great stuff coming. As I said up top, 300 Watchmen, Man of Steel, BVS, and Zack Snyder's Justice League. We're going to cover all the news, cover WandaVision, cover Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We're going to cover Zack Snyder. Very exciting stuff coming your way.
Yes, it's going to be fresh new content for
every week.
Yeah. So thank you, and be safe.
Definitely, as always.
Yeah, it's getting a bit harder out there, so please wear a mask and wash your hands and social distance, like what we did yesterday. Just social distance.
Yes.
Walking.
Even if we went on a social distance walk yesterday, so do that. And happy Valentine's Day. If you're alone, watch a film.
Or if you're alone, you have no one to talk to or listen to something, listen to us.
Yeah, we have 25 wonderful episodes of the podcast to listen to. You too can be part of this journey. If you watched last week's episode, you can really see our improvement going through the weeks. But yeah, listen to us if you're alone on Valentine's Day. And if not, have fun.
Yeah, just do something. Watch a film.
Watch a film, play a game, listen to us. Just listen to us, guys. We know all. But yeah, thank you for watching, and take what you're given.
Give nothing back.
Goodbye.
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 No, you. Bye.
We're going to do this again, are we? Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
No. Oh, it's going to be a stand-up fight here.
I'll give you the last goodbye.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw!